right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to virtual Bristol Motor Speedway here for the Mid-South Madness week number 2, one way in, one way out, 150, 125 laps, fixed setups, 2 fast repairs. My name is Sean Griffith. I'm here with Thomas Rutherford. Thomas, how are we doing tonight?
To Mid-South Madness here for the one way in, one way out, 150. We have almost 40 cars on the track tonight, Sean. Going to be exciting.
Every time we come to Bristol, it is exciting to begin with, but when you add that many cars out there, it means a lot of damage, I think, and so we're going to see how everybody does here tonight. Hopefully there's some clean racing.
Yeah, hopefully so, Sean. I talked to a couple of guys in practice this week, talked to David Duke with Speed Racing Network, Team SRN. You know, they're really excited to be back at Bristol. We did race our championship race in Mid-South Madness here at Bristol at the end of season 1 last season. A couple things that those guys are really looking at is going to be just tire wear overall, and obviously the excitement of having that many cars on the track.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting to see how people try to stay out of each other's way. But, you know, last week was just as interesting, Thomas. We had Daytona, and Daytona is big pack racing, and there were a lot of caution flags. A lot of really good drivers got kicked out of the race, basically, because they had damage on their vehicles. And so let's go over those standings from last week.
Yeah, Sean, so a little bit of a change from last week, I think, from what we were all expecting. With the new team system this year, we saw the guys from a couple of the new teams coming in. You got Robert Brill sitting in first place, Adam Pettit, in second, Troy Dow, who raced a couple of races last season, in third, Stan Hausman in fourth, Chris Massey in fifth.
On the opposite end of the spectrum there, we have a lot of great drivers on the back end. Danny Dow, our champion from last season, in 27th place after the first race. You have Danny Setzer from Team SRN, also Brandon Browning, Team SRN. You have Daniel Bowdler from Stake Dance Racing, Chad Wampler, who had internet issues last week. So a lot of great drivers are starting this season way behind.
Yeah, they are, and you've got some guys up there that we've not heard of before. It's their first season in. You got some of the guys there at Rev'd Racing between Sean and Aaron, who ran very well last week. You know, some of the old names, old favorites, Mike Lepicki, Derek DeSilva down there with Tank Racing, finishing, you know, around the top 10. So some of the guys you expected to be at the front aren't there at the front going into week 2, and some of the guys you expected to be kind of mid-pack or you didn't know what to expect are right there up at the front in the standings after race 1.
Well, we always say the cream rises to the top, and it usually does that throughout the course of a season. But here at Bristol, I think we're in for another wild race.
Oh, absolutely we are, and I think that between the number of cars on the track, as I said when we first came on the broadcast, between the tire wear that you find here at Bristol, you're going to really, really have some challenges here with these drivers tonight.
Well, you know, here at Mid-South Madness, that's really what this has become already. It's become madness, but it really is a bunch of really great drivers, and you know, a lot of people are wondering how Mid-South Madness got its start, TR.
Yeah, I think they are, and you know, it just so happens we got a new spot this week, Sean. You can come on down to TR's Corner where we brought in Corey Knight. He gave us a few minutes to do an interview on Mid-South Madness and where it came from.
All right, let's check out TR's Corner with Corey Knight.
Hey, Corey, what's up? How you doing, man?
What's up, buddy? Just trying to stay out of this hot heat. How about yourself?
Trying to do a little bit of the same. Just got back from the beach. Appreciate you coming on today. Want to just have a couple of questions for you here regarding Mid-South Madness here on Speed Racing Network. And, you know, as the founder of the league, we were at Daytona last week, a lot of action, very exciting. We had about 36 guys registered for that race. We've got the new team atmosphere this year. What do you think of the season start so far?
I thought it made for some really good racing. I thought it made for some really good broadcasting, too. I think the guys did a really good job, and all the guys who kind of picked up on this team atmosphere, I think they really enjoy actually having some guys to work with. I think they're really enjoying it.
Yeah. The teams is really going well. As a matter of fact, I think we've got 8 teams total coming into this week at the world's fastest half mile, the Coliseum, Bristol, Tennessee. There's 39 registered for this race. That's a awful small track to put that many people on, so it's going to be exciting this week as well. And Mid-South Madness coming into season 2, and this being race 2, you know, it's a fairly new league. It just really got started about 14, 15 weeks ago. Tell us how you how you put that together as far as Mid-South Madness in the league goes.
I actually have a coworker who's racing in our league that was talking about iRacing, and I was just kind of joking around with him, and somehow I tried out iRacing, and then it snowballed really, really quickly. I come from a bowling background where like leagues are a big thing, and I saw that iRacing had leagues. And I was like, well, hey, I know how to do leagues. Let's see if we can make it work. So I put a feeler out on Facebook and found out a bunch of my buddies near and far all had iRacing. So we kind of just threw it together looking for rookies and like a really laid back league atmosphere. And it escalated very quickly, like very quickly. We went from 12 guys our first week. Then it jumped to 16. Then after like week 3, we were averaging 22 to 28 guys. And then this season, we're expecting to average right at 40 guys every week. And we did all this in, a matter of a couple months. So, and we've got some big stuff planned for next season as well, hoping to expand a little bit further into multiple different car classes. So it, as they say, it escalated very quickly, very, very quickly.
Yeah, and talking about this season with Mid-South Madness, you've got Speed Racing Networks on board doing the broadcasting. You've also got several sponsors. I think there's roughly 8 or 9 sponsors between some of the cars and some of the title sponsors, along with Speed Racing Network. You've got Dent Wizard, CMC Fabrication, Silverback Tax Solutions, Griffith CPA, Paints by Night, a whole host of others. What are the biggest changes from season 1 to season 2?
I don't want to say we went commercial, but we really after talking to some of the guys I know, and then I'm actually really, really close with the guy who actually owns Speed Racing Network, and you and Sean work with him directly a lot, and we kind of got together and we were like, hey, the one thing that iRacing is in leagues are really missing, we think, is like a professional commercial kind of atmosphere to where guys can race, guys can be competitive, and guys can make money at the same time. It's not a full-time job by any means, but it's fun for a guy to clock in for a couple, like hour and a half, 2 hours, and make $60, $70, $80 doing something they like. And last week, our winner of the race, if I'm not mistaken, won like $80 or $90 off a $10 buy-in. So, it's one of those things that you check in, you make some money, you get broadcasted, you get some exposure, and it's a win-win for everybody. My league's enjoying it. From what I understand, my relationship with Speed Racing Network, they're enjoying the feedback they're getting from it. So it's kind of like us helping them take off at the same time. So it's a really good relationship we got going, and it's going to continue to grow in the next couple seasons.
Yeah, a couple of high points for this season too, right? There's 12 races, six playoff races, 18 weeks total. Got the champion's going to get a $500 champion's reward, and I think for everybody behind that, there's going to be about $1,100 in total cash prizes as far as the championship is concerned.
Correct. Yeah, we're going to run an 18-week season, 12 weeks regular season, a 6-week playoff. I don't have the structure in front of me, so I don't remember exactly how we ended up making the numbers work, but every race we're paying out a race pool. Like at the end of every race, we're paying out X amount of drivers. They're all making good money throughout the races. But once we get to the end of week 12, starting week 13, we're going to do a 6-race runoff, basically, where we're still going to have 40 guys in the field, but every week we're going to cut down the guys that I guess are in contention, and eventually we're going to get to week 18, and the top 5 guys in the playoffs, however they place between them, not necessarily in the race, just between them in that race, are going to get a share of $1,100 on top of whatever they make in the actual race. So we're going to have guys getting paid out all season long, and then 5 guys essentially are going to be duking it out for this $1,100 prize pool, 500 of which goes to first prize. So, there's going to be really, really good money, and most of it's coming from our gracious sponsors that you listed earlier. They've all helped us out making this a reality.
Well, Corey, we really appreciate you jumping on today and talking to us about Mid-South Madness and where we've gone from day 1 and where we've gotten to now with season 2. Before we let you go, though, what's your biggest thing you're looking for this season?
I'm looking forward to see how these teams shape out, because we had a lot of curveballs thrown week one as far as like where the teams are positioned. There's a lot of trash talking. There's a lot of pride on the line. I mean, if everything goes as we have it going right now, it's going to make for 18 weeks of must-see TV as far as iRacing is concerned. I can't wait to see the way it plays out.
And I can't wait to see it from the broadcast booth here on the Speed Racing Network. Corey Knight, thanks for joining TR's Corner. I'll see you Sunday.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
All right, Thomas, that was TR's Corner the first time around. Great interview with Corey Knight.
Yeah, man, I got to tell you, that was a lot of fun. Got a lot of good information on Mid-South Madness, how Corey got it started, where it came from, where it's going to today as well as tomorrow. Going to be some really exciting things come out of this league, along with what we're doing in conjunction with Speed Racing Network, and the future, sky's the limit there, Sean.
Yeah, well, speaking of Corey, he's sponsoring Mid-South Madness here with Paints by Night. And let's jump right into the team introductions this week with the Paints by Night team introductions. And if everybody could just follow Ashton Knight on Trading Paints, you'll see all sorts of great paint schemes by him, and you'll see a lot of those all night tonight during the race. So let's start off in order. We have a power rankings that came out this past Monday. It's just kind of an objectional or an objective view of kind of how each team is doing. And so we'll kind of go in that order. Let's start off with Revved Racing, Thomas.
Yeah, Revved Racing, these guys, we talked about them earlier as far as the individuals on the team and how they are doing in points. You got Adam Pettit, Aaron Gerwich, Sean Dice, Brian O'Shell. These guys are really starting to make a name for themselves after 1 week. Excited to see how they finish tonight, but I think they're gonna drive fairly well. They're gonna try and work their way up towards the front.
That's right. Now the surprise of the week last week was do-gooders. And so here they are. Number 1, Bobby Brill, the winner last week. Number 24, Taylor Smith, he ran up front a lot of that race last week. Number 90, Corey Knight, who you just heard from. And number 93, Brad Yonkman. Good little team forming that nobody really expected.
Yeah, I don't think anybody expected the do-gooders to do as gooder as they did last week. So I think tonight, again, you're going to see them. You're going to see them up there racing hard, running for a win, or at least contending for a top 5 positions. That's why they're the do-gooders.
Well, you know, there was a lot of disappointment last week from this team, the Stake Dance Racing team. Daniel Bowther and Chad Wampler, they were kind of in the back all night. Chad had some internet issues, and Daniel Bowther got into a lot of incidents back there. None were really his fault. It was just he just got caught up in them. But you had Troy Dow, who took home a second place, and Stan Hausman, who finished up near the top as well.
Sean, you know this team, though. You know between Daniel, Chad, Troy, and Stan, the horsepower and the talent these guys have. 1 week out of the way at Daytona at a restrictor plate track, I don't expect to see that happen to them again.
Well, the one team standing in their way is Tank Racing. The number 46 of Mike Lepicki, the number 31 of Devin Zimmerman, the 555 of Derek De Silva, and the 79 of AJ Pritchett. Love those cars.
Those cars are beautiful, and the best way I would describe this team with all their talent is they drive in formation. These guys are like fighter planes in a squadron, right? They're nose to tail, they're next to each other. They find each other on the track. They race hard. They use teamwork. I don't expect to see any different from them tonight.
You know, a relatively new team on the block, Stryker Motorsports. They came onto the scene last week. They had a couple good finishers and a couple bad finishers, kind of like Stake Dance Racing. So the number 44 of Andrew Schroeder, the number 25 of Dean Brummett, the number 71 of Travis Trevelyan, and the number 9 of Jake Roel.
Yeah, excited to see what these guys can do. This was kind of a late entry into the league, this team, but we've seen some talent out of them. I know some feathers got ruffled a little bit last week, maybe the start of some rivalries with some of the other teams, because you do have very aggressive drivers out there on the track, and these guys are racing for a win tonight.
You bet. Another surprise team, Mike Lewis, Jay Graves Jr., Joe Ruggles Jr., and Brandon Arciero. That's Jam Racing.
Yeah, and what a great graphic they've got there, Jam Racing. You got Mike Lewis there. He's kind of the old dog on the team. I think he's their team captain. Joe Ruggles, Brandon Arciero, Jay Graves. Jay Graves, we saw him run in some of the exhibition races really well. Look forward to seeing these guys run on the track tonight.
Yeah, he took the pole last week also, so definitely a formidable team. Let's check out H2K Motorsports. The mainstay on this one is the number 88 of Joseph DuPont, but he's got a nice little team going on with him as well.
Yeah, you got Josh, Justin, Duncan, Joseph. All these guys are very talented on the team. Everybody but Staroska was running last season, I do believe, in season 1 of Mid-South Madness. DuPont's very road course guy, oval guy, so great talent here on this team.
All right, this next one, I mean, it hurts our heart to say it because we love this team so much, but Team SRN was a massive disappointment last week. Just a lot of bad luck for them. I don't expect to see that this week, Thomas.
You know, Sean, when you're talking about your banner carrier here with Speed Racing Network, doing the broadcast and having a team in the racing, I know what Browning, Duke, Setzer, and Dow are capable of, and I don't think you'll be disappointed tonight.
All right, and rounding out our teams, Wild Bill Motorsports with a nice late ad last week with Chris Massey on that team.
Yeah, you got Rayburn, Ragland, Massey, and of course Wild Bill Spears running the team from the head of the table. Very exciting all the way around. Look for them to have some speed tonight. I know Bill gets some really fast laps out here at Bristol. He did last season when we ran there early on. These guys will be contended tonight as well.
Yeah, I believe we have 3 or 4 independents out there also. We will learn their names as we go, but what a great field we have. And let's talk about what these guys are racing for. So with the Griffith CPA firm Money Talks. So these are our season awards. So Paints by Night Do-Gooder Sportsmanship Award is $50. That's for the person that gets into the least amount of incidents throughout the entire season. And the season-long team championship is $200. Gets divided up between those team members. The season-long grand champion, the granddaddy of them all, whoever wins this entire league gets $500 cash.
And that's a big dollar amount there, Sean, too, because there's over $1,100 in prizes towards the championship going to these guys. So the better they perform, the better an opportunity they're going to have to take home some of that cash. And it's not only the cash with the championship, Sean. These guys are paying in to race each week. So they also have race winnings. That's right. They've got a purse for every race they can do. Tonight, because of the size of the field, you got $75 going out to first place. Think about that, Sean. You're paying a small fee to race, but if you win, you're getting $75 back. Even if you're in 8th place, you're getting $10 back. And this is on top of what the Paints by Night Do-Gooders Clean Race bonus is, Sean, which is $5 for this race. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the Do-Gooders Clean Race bonus is basically if you have 0 incidents for the entire race, it doesn't matter who you are, how many people there are, anything like that, then Paints by Night and Do-Gooders will give you $5 just for staying clean and racing safe.
Yeah, not only do they do that for the race, Sean, and I know you covered it in the season payouts, but there's also a payout, I do believe, for clean racing for the season, correct?
That is correct. So back on for that season payouts there. So the Paints by Night Do-Gooders Sportsmanship Award, $50 for whoever is in the least amount of incidents for the entire year. So definitely there's a reason to race clean. There is a reason to race hard. So everybody has a chance for some money in this league, Thomas.
Yeah, and that's why they're all here, Sean. It's why we have so many drivers tonight. And, you know, they're in qualifying right now. We're just about 4 or 5 minutes from race time. What are your thoughts on it tonight, Sean? What do you expect to see?
Man, it is really tough to call this one. It's going to be hard for the teams to get together on this short track, but I really think that experience is going to play out. So I really believe that Team SRN is going to have a really good shot to get back into it, but just beware of Stake Dance Racing and the cars of Daniel Bowler and Chad Wampler as well. I think they're coming back for some revenge.
I do too. I know Wampler didn't get a lot of time on the track this week. I think he was on vacation. You know, Bodler races in real life. I know he's had some other things going on there, but I've watched these guys race on a short track, man, and with Troy Dow also in tow, I agree with you. One of those guys could take it home. But who I'm really looking at tonight, who I really think has a great chance of coming back and winning this race, it's going to be those boys on Team SRN. And I don't just say that because they're our banner carrier. I say that because we went to Bristol last season. We finished there in our championship. I was the championship points leader going into that. Danny Dow raced me down, and he beat me like an old dog, man. He just ran by me, took the championship away. I'm looking for SRN and Danny Dow in that group to come through tonight.
Well, it's almost time for us to find out, Thomas. They are all getting in there, and they are doing their qualifying right now. And surprise up front, one of the independents, Matt Johnson, on the pole right now. Followed closely by, there's your pick right there, Danny Dow.
I know, that's my boy. We're going to see, though, where he starts and where you start at Bristol versus where you finish can be two different things. I mean, this track it'll pick you up, throw you around, and spit you back out. We're going to see a lot of heavy tire wear tonight, and I think patience is going to be key. And if you're really looking at things to watch, you're going to have to keep your head on a swivel. You're going to have to keep your elbows out. Race the track. Your tires are going to go fast. You don't necessarily need to race the guys around you. It's Bristol, baby. Welcome to the Coliseum and the world's fastest half mile.
Yeah, let's point out a few others here. So you have Adam Pettit, who had a great showing last week. He's up in third. Justin Boyles, there's another independent. He's up in fourth. Sean Dice. Yep, Sean Dice from Rev Racing. He's up there in fifth. Marshall Stanley, that's one of Rev Racing's good friends. So he's up there in sixth. So, I mean, a lot of great racers up front, but a couple surprises with those independents.
Yeah, and Justin Boyles, I know he was a last-minute entry. Know Justin pretty well. He's the guy who puts on the IVCS, which is the Professional Cup Series that several of us race in. I race in it on Friday nights. I know Jason Tripp, SRN, who's running race control tonight, he races in it along with several of the other guys there on SRN, and Daniel Baldler from Stake Dance Racing. Justin wanted to come down, check it out, see the competition, get on the track with everybody. I think we're going to see him driving pretty aggressive tonight because just knowing him and how he races, he's going to be going for a win.
Well, it looks like everybody has gotten their qualifying in, even though we still have a few more minutes. But it looks like we're going to have Matt Johnson on the pole, Danny Dow in second, Adam Pettit in third, and Justin Boyles in fourth right there.
I'm ready to go racing, Sean. What about you?
Man, I'm ready to run this thing. It's going to be a great time. We will get them onto the track here in just a couple of moments. And so everybody just needs to remember this is a short track. There's almost 40 cars on this track. There is going to be some damage. There's going to be some hurt feelings, and I do not want to miss the Discord tonight.
No, there's going to be a lot of action inside of that Discord, and you don't want to miss it. I may want to miss it. I may want to go to bed and get out of that mess. But there's a lot of people that are going to be on that Discord, and those people are here because SRN and MSM have put together a great program. We couldn't do it without all of the sponsors that we've had come in this year. I know we don't have a title sponsor for tonight's race, Sean, but if we really bust it down, just to name a few, obviously Speed Racing Network. You can check them out on speedracingnetwork.com. Got Dent Wizard doing the cautions tonight. CMC Fabrications on several of the cars. They're a sponsor for the league. You got Silverback Tax Solutions. I think that's a pretty cool car that's out there, right? Griffith CPA, Paints by Night, Stake Dance, and also one we didn't mention that's out there on the track, Fraser Buddha Customs, which is button boxes. And I may have left one or two out there, Sean, but I think that's pretty much covering our guys who are helping us get where we're at today from a sponsor standpoint.
Yeah, we're going to have to get that logo and get that going for Fraser Buddha. But let's take a look here one more time at the standings here as far as the qualifying. So any big surprises here to you?
Not really. I mean, we got some of the independents up front, right? I mean, it's something where I'm looking at, Johnson there, an independent in first, Danny Dow in second. It's my pick. Adam Pettit's been running strong. Boyles we talked about earlier. Dice in fifth. What do you think from fifth on back there, Sean?
Well, you got Marshall Stanley. He's an independent. You have Dean Brummett from Stryker Motorsports. He had a good showing last week. Jay Graves had the pole last week from Jam Racing. Bobby Brill, there's our winner from last week, up in ninth. And Corey Knight, his teammate from Do-Gooders, up in 10th. So, I mean, great field here.
Yeah, I don't want to say I'm surprised by the Do-Gooders because last week I think there was a little discounting amongst the garage on those guys, so to speak. And you look there at Dean and Corey Knight running up there in the top 10. That's going to be, or excuse me, Bobby Brill running up there with Corey Knight in the top 10. That's going to be a strong team to race tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to get really, really interesting up there. Corey, he is now considered a veteran of iRacing, and he put on a good show last week. He was up towards the front until a late caution took him down. So I think we're going to have a lot of people vying for that top spot.
Oh, well, we absolutely will. And again, the key is going to be patience. You're going to see a lot of these guys that get out there early. They're going to run some very fast laps. Those are going to be the guys where you got some comers and goers. Again, I mentioned it earlier, talked to a couple of these guys this week. Today I talked to Chad Wampler and David Duke. David Duke, he's an ex-crew chief in the NASCAR series from several years ago. He's playing pit strategy. And I asked him flat out, I said, how are you playing pit strategy at Bristol? There's going to be so many cautions here in the first part of the race. You're going to have all the opportunity to pit and stay caught up behind the guy in front of you want. But he still thinks that there's going to be a long run there that's going to give you the opportunity to really save some tires and save some fuel and make it through to the end late in the race.
Yeah, we had some long runs last year when we did this, but I'll be honest with you, there were only 19 cars on that track, Thomas.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was not it was not the same race as we've got tonight, and we got the lights out on the pace car here, Sean. We're going to be going green here.
All right, let's have some fun tonight, Thomas, with the one way in, one way out, 125 with Speed Racing Network. Everybody that's watching right now, go ahead and click on that subscribe button so we can get some subscriptions and we can bring this racing to you every single week. We are here every Sunday for the next 17 weeks. Going to be a lot of good racing, but we're going to get the pace car off here and we're going to get going.
Yep. 12 weeks in the regular season, 6 playoff races, 18 weeks total. This is just week 2. We got a lot of racing left, Sean.
All right, and here we go with Matt Johnson bringing us to the green flag here. Let's get started. Oh, and Matt Johnson already. We're still green.
Looks like he got into boils there.
Oh, and now we're under checker, or under yellow flag. I apologize. So let's jump back and find out what happened back there.
Yeah, so this is going to be our first rec replay presented by Dent Wizard tonight here. But, I mean, obviously on the start, it looks like he spun his tires. Don't know if they were cold, if he was starting in first gear or what the deal was. But you can see it stacks up the field behind him there. You got the
that was Joe Ruggles. That was Joe Ruggles that got put into the wall there. It looked like by Justin Kruckman.
Yeah, it looked like Kruckman came down. Just everybody was checking up, trying to avoid what happened at the front of the pack there. Boy, the 96 is torn up pretty good.
Let's try to see that from another angle here. In fact, let's see if we can get into Kruckman's car and find out what happened.
Well, I can see the 96 there's Kruckman of 19 in the mellow yellow car. See, Kruckman's just slowed up there, Sean.
Yeah.
You got outside of Riggles there and right down into him.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he thought that Ruggles was gone by that point or what, but then you see Taylor Smith jumping up in the air there a little bit, and then a couple other cars getting taken out.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to get Taylor Smith a pilot's license because that's about the third time in 3 weeks, counting the exhibition race, we've seen him go airborne in that car. I hate it for him, but he's getting good at flying it back onto the track.
You know what? I'm gonna show you one more car that got involved in that, and here it comes. I think you're going to see Daniel Bowdler get the tail end of this, and man, more bad luck for Daniel Bowdler.
Yeah, Bowdler in that CMC number 6 fabrication stake dance racing car. You know, he's been in some doozies here early last week and this week as well. Looks like he cut down pretty good there, though, Sean.
Yeah, he might have gotten through that one, but man, he's just back there where he shouldn't be. So it's tough to get away from there here at Bristol.
Yeah, I can tell you, I know we're not getting a chance to see that replay, but up front there, I'm not sure what happened on the start with I believe our pole sitter. Looks like he just turned dead right towards the 21, got into the 8, and that's what caused that whole mess behind him.
Well, let's just take a look and see if maybe we can get back there and find out what happened on that restart or on that start. Let's find out if we can get back up there. So let's just take a look here. We're going to see Matt Johnson, and he just drops off. And the second he drops off, the 57 looks like Pettit just kind of gets into him a little bit. Maybe he spun his tires a little bit, but yeah, that outside line got started, but the inside didn't. What do you think?
I don't know if he got into him. It looked like Johnson maybe just was starting in a low gear, cold tires, just spun him. You know, the excitement of a race. You're in Bristol. A lot of these guys are not racing this league. There's money on the line. It could have just been nerves there, Sean, getting to him.
Man, it happens to the best of us, definitely. But right now, we have your pick, Danny Dow, up front, going to bring us back to the green flag this next corner. What do you think you are going to see here?
Well, I think you're going to see Dow take off like he did, but he does have Pettit out there next to him. And I can tell you again, the consistency Pettit's been having so far this season, as well as in the test races, I don't think you're going to see anything different. So look for a good clean start here, but also look for these guys to be racing each other going into turn one.
All right, here we go. Green flag, lap 7.
Yeah, Dow just took off like a rocket. Pettit's behind him, but at least we got away clean that time, Sean. So let's look for those guys that are going to be taking off like rockets, because those are going to be the guys we're going to want to look at and see how their tires hold up. But that Silverback Tax Solutions car is looking good.
It's looking fantastic out there. He's opened up a half-second lead here at Bristol. Oh, and we have another caution already. Looks like a big wreck back towards the back. Let's find out what happened back there with our second wreck replay by Dent Wizard.
Yeah, and going into the Dent Wizard wreck replay here, going towards the back of the pack, you can see everybody side by side. Not quite sure what happens.
Well, let's jump out a little bit. Maybe we can see something a little bit better. I think we're keying here on Aaron Gerwitz in the 09 there. Let's just find out what happens to him.
Yeah, 2 9s don't make a right side by side, Sean, still.
That's right. So we're going to cut into this corner and not really seeing anything too terrible here. So perhaps our system is kind of making a mess of things, but looks like he's up there. There it went. Oh, it looked like it was a little bit before that. So let's jump up and see what happened. I believe that was up front with Corey Knight.
It looked like our pole sitter there again, Sean. I don't know if he had fallen that far back, but if I'm looking at the 60, is that the 62 there?
That is the 62. Yeah, that's the 62. So let's see if we can jump back and find out what happened there.
Yeah, I would be surprised if
oh, yeah,
62.
Mike Lepicki comes down off the wall a little bit and just barely taps him. So Lepicki goes around. I think the 62 of Johnson, he tries to go down to get away from everybody. Zimmerman just barely gets past there.
Yeah, I would not pin that on the 62 at all. I mean, Lepicki was coming down. It's early in the race. These guys are racing for track position. Looks like he got in the back of the 00 there. Still had a run, started dropping down low, and the 62 just happened to be in that low line.
Yeah, and so he's going to be there on the apron. Yeah, just a lot of carnage already. I mean, we're only 10 laps in here.
Yeah, 10 laps in, but I don't have it in front of me on the telemetry. I don't think we've lost anybody yet, but still not enough racing to really tell what we're going to see tonight, because everybody in the back is all over each other.
Well, I'll tell you, it looks like we do have a couple of cars a few laps down already. Wild Bill Spears back there in the 77, and then Joe Ruggles, who was involved in that first one. I think he's about 5 laps down already. So not sure if how accurate that is this early in the race, but being 5 laps down after 12 isn't really where you want to be.
No, it's not. But one thing you got to keep in mind about Bristol, it's got odd pit roads. There's 2 pit roads here, one on the front stretch, one on the back. Depending on whether you're under green flag or whether you're under caution is going to determine whether you need to go into one or go into both. Also, too, the caution laps here are pretty quick. I mean, it's only a half mile, so even if you come in for tires and fuel and you're the only one that comes in, you're probably going to go down a couple of laps, John.
Yeah, and I think we still have Danny Dow up front. He broke away from that pack really early, and nobody caught him. But if he keeps going that fast, he's going to catch up to the back of the pack pretty quickly.
He probably will. But if he keeps going that fast this early too, he's probably gonna shred those tires down to their cords. So it'll be interesting to see his strategy. Hopefully, we'll get a good long green flag run here, and we can see how these cars start to fall off and handle after a few laps.
And you saw there the Jake Rowell, the number 9, he got the wave around, so he's going to stay on the lead lap. But he's got some damage going on.
He does. It's a good thing about Bristol. You can rip the rear ends off, the front ends off. Downforce doesn't mean that much here. It's mostly driver feel and mechanical bite in the car. So you can keep it without the body panels on it and still go fast.
All right, and we're going to take Danny Dow back to the green flag, and he gets another great jump. Lap 14 is where we're at right now of 125, a long way to go here.
Yeah, a long way to go. That's about a quarter of the normal race here for the Cup guys.
And so you're seeing out the back end here.
The Xfinity Series guys.
Yeah, we're seeing out the back end of Danny Dow here, and he's putting a little bit of distance on everybody. He's liking that high line.
High line's the way to go around here, and you'll see these guys run that high line, start to move down a little bit. You can pass on the low side, but it just wears your stuff out. So I look for him and Pettit to get a lead here on the rest of the pack.
All right, we got another yellow flag already. So, this just keeps on going. So let's just find out what happened back there. It looks like it might be Brandon Browning.
Oh, man. So we're going to go to the rec replay presented by Dent Wizard. This is going to be number 3 for us. We'll get our production crew to key in our rec here.
So look at the number 18. Yeah, the number 18 of Brandon Browning up there. Let's find out what happened to him. Oh, he just hits the wall, goes down into the inside wall, and that just about does it for that. But it is a very, very narrow track here, Thomas.
Very narrow, and again, the grip is a premium here. So that number 18 Dent Wizard Chevrolet, he'll get back in. He'll get a fast repair. And Sean, that's something we haven't really talked about tonight. You want to walk us through the fast repairs and what we've got in the hopper for those?
Absolutely. So each driver gets 2 fast repairs, which basically allows you to go into the pits, get a brand new car, and then come right back out. And that's really the fun thing about iRacing is you get to stay in the race. And so as much as possible, of course, only having 2 of them in a 125 lap race that has already had 3 cautions, you have to be careful with how you use them and when.
Yeah, Sean, you're the accountant. I'm not that good at math, but if you only have 2 fast repairs and we've ran, 6 or 7 green flag laps, how many fast repairs does it take to get to the end of a race?
A lot. more than 2, let's put it that way. But one of the things about Mid-South Madness, and a lot of people have chimed in on this, where last season we had 5 fast repairs. This season we went to 2, and the reason we wanted to do that was we wanted the competition to be better. We wanted people to have to race cleaner in order to make it to the finish line. And I think that's really worked out here in the first 2 races already.
Yeah, it absolutely has, and I'm not going to say season 1 was plagued by cautions that affected all the racing, but we did have a couple of races where I think we had 5 fast repairs, and people use those like bulletproof vests. So it's something where, to keep the racing realistic, the less of them you have, the better off you are. I know in the IVCS, some of the Pro Series we race, we don't have them at all. Here at Bristol, does it help? It does, but 2's not going to be a detriment to these guys because, again, like I said earlier, they can race without the body panels on these cars. They can beat the crap out of them, get back out on the track, and in most cases still have the same performance.
All right, and so we still have all the cars are out there on the track still. Nobody has completely dropped out yet. We're going to restart here with Danny Dow. We're going to get to Adam Pettit here in second. Dean Brummett, somebody we haven't talked about with Stryker Motorsports, he is in third. Sean Dice with Rev Racing in fourth. And what do you know? Another do-gooder, Bobby Brill, back towards the front again.
Bobby Brill running there in fifth, and right behind him you've got Stanley, followed by Johnson. Johnson's working his way back up there. Zimmerman's behind him in the 31 machine, Graves in the 4. Then you got O'Shell in the 54. So some names up there, again, that we've seen run consistent week 1 and in some of the exhibition races. They're doing the same thing here tonight at a short track, Sean.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're back to green on lap 21 of 125. Actually, yes, it's lap 21 of 125. And the 21 is out front, Danny Dow.
Yeah, he got a jump again that time, Sean, but Pettit got a little closer in behind him. You got Pettit in the 25 car there, Brummett. They're chasing him down. You can see the different lines, too, between Pettit and Brummett and the way they're running.
Yeah, I like this far away view, especially here at Bristol. You have all sorts of different lines, but we have another caution. This is not going to go very well, Thomas.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. I mean, this is caution number 4, and we're not even through 25 laps yet. Like, we're not really getting the chance to see these tires wear out, Sean.
Yeah, we're gonna jump in and we're gonna see that replay hopefully here in just a second. We're gonna find out what happened back there, but
so
this
Dent Wizard Rec replay number 4. Let's see what we got, Sean.
It is, unfortunately, the replay was lost. Let me see if I can go back and pull that up and see what happened. It was towards the back, I'll tell you that. So let me see if I've got that, but we may have lost that replay. And I want to say that it was partially Brandon Browning. It was involved again.
Looked like David Duke there. If I caught that right, looked like we saw David Duke spinning. For you folks at home, this is what the folks in the editing room normally do while we're talking.
Oh, Mike Lewis popped off the wall and took down David Duke there. So another victim of hitting the wall, and it looked like towards the end of that, Thomas, that we had a little bit of damage to Corey Knight as well. So we'll slow that down. We'll back it up, slow it down a little bit, and see what happened. And I think that's where we got Brandon Browning involved. So you will see the number 90 of Corey Knight coming around. And Mike Lewis is going to jump back on the track, and he's going to hit Corey Knight there. Corey Knight's going to go up.
Ooh.
Yeah, a little bit of a hit there. Man, all sorts of damage. This is a little too early in the race to cause that kind of damage.
Yeah, it looks like he pulled right up in front of him on the track, too, and hit that Griffith CPA car right in the driver's side. That's a beautiful car, by the way. Again, paints by Knight. Corey Knight did that car like he did many of the others, but man, that thing's all beat up now.
Yeah, man. So really quick, since we've got a few new viewers here, let's jump back really fast and let's take a look really quick at what kind of money we are looking at for this race, Thomas.
Yeah, so again, this is tonight's payouts. This isn't for the season. This is what we do every week, race in, race out. So first place tonight's going to get 75, 40 to second, 25 to third. If you finish in 8th place, you're going to get $10 tonight, along with that $5 Paints by Night do-gooder bonus for a clean race, and that goes to anyone who races clean and finishes in the most upfront position with a clean race. But Sean, I don't know if we're going to see that paid out tonight.
Absolutely, this is man, a lot of wrecking really, really early. Actually, so far, the only people I think that are even still eligible for this are probably these top 4.
Yeah, absolutely, and even they're not safe because we've already seen them cause the first caution. So I think Dow and Pettit probably have the cleanest cars on the track. And, of course, that do-gooder car right behind them there in the number 1 and the 25, they're coming for them. They're going to be gunning for them on this restart.
Yep, so here we're going to get right back running again. And I apologize, folks. We are having a little bit of technical difficulty with the scoring here. We are going to get that back on the screen for you, so sorry about that.
Sean, while we got our folks working on that, we're going to be coming back to green here. Not much has changed with the 21 of Dow leading in first. As he comes down to the green flag, he's getting those early restarts, and there he goes.
Yeah, there goes Dow again, getting out there. It looks like Dean Brummett there in the 25. Oh, and we got another spin back there. That looked like it was Adam Pettit got involved there. We're going to see if we can back up.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it was Pettit, Sean. I didn't see what 2 cars it was, but it looked like they just were going for the same piece of real estate. Once we get our folks in the trailer to get a chance to back us up on the film here and take a look.
Let me see if we can back up and get that going again with another Dent Wizard replay.
Yeah, so the Dent Wizard Rec replay, we're going to go back here and take a look.
And once again, sorry for all the technical difficulties here. We are working on it. It looks like we might have a little bit of internet connectivity issue. So we're going to jump back and we're going to see what happens.
Right there, it looks like the 87. It's running up with the 00 there in the Haas car, and just came into him on the outside line. 00 was running his line up there, and it looks like just a racing incident.
Yeah, those things are going to happen. So that 00 is Marshall Stanley, and that 87. I'm trying to find him on our list.
Sean Dice in the 87 car, I think, there with Red Racing.
And usually they're teammates, believe it or not. Of course, we can only have 4 people in the team Discord at one time, so a couple teammates getting into each other there.
Yeah, and unfortunately for both of them, they're probably going to have to talk that one out, because it looked like you had Dice running there on the outside. He was holding his line, and it looked like the 00 just for whatever reason, and it just came up into him. So.
Well, let's see if we can get this started back up again. Once again, we have Dean Brummett there in second place, right behind Danny Dow. Danny Dow has pretty much led this entire race, except for right at the very, very beginning for the pole position.
Yeah, you got Dow, you got Brummett, you got Pettit there. I mean, these guys are, you wouldn't expect much to change up front, because we can't get green flag laps in here. So hopefully these guys will settle down. They'll get some racing in, because right now everything that's happening is it's a little challenging. So the guys up front are pretty safe. Tell you what, though, Sean, I know we're working on our production right now, but I can tell you for Speed Racing Network, we're trying to bring you a very premium product. All the folks out there watching, and I can tell you, I've been in iRacing since 2009. It started in 2008. I've seen a lot of broadcast, what we're doing with the pre-race shows, what we're doing with the telemetry, some of the replays, having the sponsors in, having Speed Racing Network, which you can check it out at speedracingnetwork.com if you're interested in learning more, or maybe even having us broadcast for your league. I can tell you, even looking at the screen as it is now, we've got a product that's a lot better than a lot of the broadcasts out there, Sean.
Yes, we do. And so we're still working on that. We apologize. Just give us a couple more minutes, and I think we'll get that straightened out.
So we still. And Sean, I'm trying to see where we're at as far as the race goes.
Yeah, Thomas, we seem to have lost the race. Hang on, we will get right back into it.
So again, for those of you at home watching, while we're getting our feedback going, we do have a lot of information on speedracingnetwork.com if you're interested in joining a league or interested in having some broadcast services. This is not an example of how we normally run our broadcast, right? I know we're new for season 2, but we've ran several of these without any issues. So this is kind of new for us too, right? Like being at Bristol.
Yeah, this is a little bit different. Don't worry, we are all over it. Just trying to get back into that race and trying to get that live view back up. Pretty sure you're not missing too much except for another caution, probably. Just for the time being, we're going to jump back to this screen so we can get everything fixed for us. Just give us a few minutes and we will get it fixed. We apologize to the 15 viewers that are watching right now. This is definitely not something that is common for us. Just a little bit of network glitching, and we are trying to get that fixed for us here.